All right, we're here with USC freshman quarterback Jaxson Dart. First of all, Jackson, congratulations. 2020, 2021 Gatorade Player of the Year get presented by, a legend already, Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars. How did that feel?
Yeah, I felt incredible. Such a great opportunity, and I'm really honored to be named the winner and have it be presented by Trevor was just incredible.
So you're not the first USC quarterback. A few names you might remember: JT Daniels, Max Brown, Matt Barkley, and even Mitch Mustaine transferred in. So quite a few guys wore the Cardinal gold and had this award.
Yeah, I think it says something about USC.
Yeah, so I guess it does. This wasn't the school, you decided to commit to USC. They already had a top quarterback commit. Actually, they had two back at that time there. What was kind of the thought process when you wanted to commit to USC?
Yeah, so just going back to when they pulled the trigger and offered me, I honestly just couldn't believe it at all. Kind of came out of the blue, but just being able to go through the whole process and meet the coaches, gain relationships with them. I think it was just like a no-brainer for me with the opportunities that it provided on and off the field, and the offensive scheme, and being able to put myself in that situation.
The Utah high school football happened in the fall, and a lot of your California, recruiting class members weren't able to play. How important was that to you? I mean, you're probably not winning this award, right, if you don't get to play football in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't even know if I'd be at USC without my senior season. Going into the year, I didn't have one Power 5 offer. So Utah being able to put on a season for us really made big opportunities for myself as well as many other kids in the state.
You exploded on the scene as a senior, like you said, without a Power 5 offer. They'd go to Gatorade Player of the Year. What kind of improvements did you make in your high school game that senior year?
Yeah, just during the off season, I was able to train a lot with my QB group, 3D QB with Taylor, John, and Adam. And, they really just excelled my knowledge of the game as well as mechanical and game-like situations. I was able to just train with them a lot during COVID with school being out. So I pretty much just, could get out there as much as I could. And, I tried to just excel in every part of the game that I could. And coming to Corner Canyon for my senior year put me in a great situation to succeed with a great coach and Coach Care, who's, changed my life, as well as all my great teammates who were, studs on the field and really helped me as well as our team reach our goals.
You go to Corner Canyon, then you end up at USC going to college. How was that first semester? How have you adjusted to college life so far?
It for sure took me a couple of weeks to get settled for sure. But I've loved it so far. There's just, it's a great environment and I've really enjoyed it. Family atmosphere. So I haven't been really too homesick yet. And I've loved it so far.
So you said you grew being able to play that senior season. How did you feel you grew the last couple of months going through spring practice at USC?
Yeah, it's completely different with coming into a whole new offensive scheme. Of course, the speed of the game is just different. Everybody on the field were the best players on their high school team, and at USC it's just elite. So as well as it just took me a little bit to get used to. But I think my biggest growth path has just been learning the offense, feeling more comfortable each week, and being able to make relationships with the guys so that I've been able to trust them and making plays for me. And
Speaking of relationships with the guys, you got to get those receivers and running backs to trust you. But you got Keaton Slovis on one side and Miller Moss on the other. What's the relationship with those guys, the veteran and then the incoming freshman along with you?
Yeah, it's a super competitive room with, myself and two other really good quarterbacks. And, Keaton, he's expected to be one of the top draft picks in this upcoming draft. And, Miller had a great high school career, and was one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So I just say our room is really competitive. Good people who, they want to compete, and we all have similar goals. So, it's a really fun atmosphere to be in.
The leader of that room, you could say, is Graham Harrell. What's his coaching style like?
Yeah, I love Graham. Graham's, I have a good relationship with him on and off the field. I would say his coaching style is intense. He pushes for perfection, and he wants to be an elite, and he wants to win every single play, every single game. So I would just say, his intensity has stood out to me, as well as his knowledge.
Is there a quarterback you kind of model your game after a little bit? Some people have talked about you and former USC quarterback Sam Darnold, who's going to the Carolina Panthers now. But anyone that you kind of model your game after?
Yeah, growing up, obviously Tom Brady for sure. And then I've never really had like one single guy that I've really tried to, model my game after. There's just been like a lot of them. So I would say like my biggest ones have been lately, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Zach Wilson, and, guys like that, Russell Wilson, list goes on and on, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, all those guys.
Yeah, a lot of guys there. They're like really good players. You're an athletic quarterback. I mean, did they sell you on, hey, we can bring you in this offense and get you to use your athleticism and run the football? Because that's not something we've seen for the last couple of years, maybe since like Sam Darnold was around USC.
Yeah, they touched some points of that with during my recruiting process, and just, their vision of what the offense can be with me in it. And, that was one reason that, I chose USC, was just because of just the excitement that I felt, being in an offense that we have.
The spring game in the Coliseum, it was the middle of spring, but you get to be out there. You're on Keaton Slovis's team, mixed bag. You didn't have the starting offensive line, just kind of everything was mixed around. How was that? I mean, that's the first time we've seen like a kind of real spring game around USC for a while, but how was that experience for you?
Yeah, it was so fun. I've said this many times, just the rich tradition that the Coliseum and USC has, being a part of a spring game like that was just super competitive. Like you said, they haven't really had a real spring game like that. So, I had a blast out there just competing and, being with the guys, and just, as well as like, other freshmen coming in early, like my roommate, Michael Jackson, being able to perform with him was just a blast. And I had so much fun out there.
You got guys like Drake London, you get to throw to. I mean, it seemed like that was a pretty good security blanket. If you're ever in trouble, just throw it up to him somewhere.
Yeah, that's never a bad option. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It's not a bad option to throw to Drake.
But you didn't so your roommate, Michael Jackson, you seemed like you had a pretty good connection with him.
Yeah. Right when we got here, we were off. We didn't really have any football stuff. So me and Mike were able to, make a really good relationship, a good friendship with each other when we were in the dorms, and we were able to get out a little bit and get some reps in with me throwing to him before we even started practicing. And I think that has helped our timing, has helped us grow as players. I think it's big because, he's a freshman and I'm a freshman. So we're going to be playing with each other for a long time. So having a relationship like that with him has helped for sure.
Last thing for you, going into the summer workouts, the player run practices and all that, what are you kind of looking to do like before, take care of before you head into fall camp?
Yeah, I would just say keep stacking days. Try to be that 1% better each day, keep striving for perfection, and really just, grow my role on the team and be a guy where, if anything ever breaks down, that, people can count on me.
All right. Well, Jaxson Dart, congratulations, USC freshman quarterback and the Gatorade Player of the Year for 2020, 2021. Thanks again for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.